That's what I'm going to do.
It says we're live. I'll wait for it to pop up here. Mute the window. Here we go. Boop. Booped it. It got booped. Barto, you there? Oh, now you're muted.
I muted myself because I'm trying to get the pop-up to come around. Now you can hear me.
Yep.
Look at that.
I'm still drinking some coffee. I don't have a whiskey. So.
Wow. I got a little Kilhoman, baby. Specs edition.
I might have had a couple too many of these last night. I'm not sure.
Special Reserve Wellers. You were getting doubles.
Well, not every time.
Somebody bought you some too. I saw people handing you some.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try again. I won't mute myself until I can go pick this up. Go ahead.
Last night was the fundraiser, or the local fundraiser for Matt Young, Detective Matt Young with the Wichita Police Department. Been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. We did our own fundraiser a couple weekends ago, and we wanted to go through and just say thank you to everybody that helped out. I've got the list here. Talk about that a little bit. The fundraiser last night was a concert. I'm not sure how much they raised. It would have been a lot of money last night. So,
and they, you may screen share it, but there was also this, which is a photo of us presenting the check. You can see Matt Young is there. And I'm going to say, first of all, Scott looks impressive. I don't know, the right lighting or the perfect shirt. You look like a little Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there because I don't think I look like that.
Yeah, I even showed your son, and he was like, wow. and then I also noticed I have an incredible wingspan here. Look at this.
I know it's all encompassing. Yeah, it goes from one side of the frame to the other.
Yes, my left arm, it almost looks like it's your hand on Matt's shoulder and you're doing like the feminine pose. That's how long the wingspan is there. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, my wife was like, wow, you could have probably reached over to Scott. I'm like,
we were able to, that check is for $8,000.
Right.
Because of all of you glorious, magnificent dummies, to use magnificent from.
Right. I thought you might even call them bastards for a second, the way you were going. Yeah, you sounded just like the Whiskey Tribe. I thought you were going to just break into that.
Hello to everybody that's tuning in. I think we got quite a few.
Dude, I cannot see the pop-out screen. I haven't been able. I'm having weird connection problems, and then I haven't been able to get the screen to pop out, so I can't comment.
Well, it's a good thing you waited till the last minute to try to come in.
I wasn't. I was trying. Usually, I'm in a couple seconds, and I came down a little 5 minutes early. Liz, my wife, came home for lunch, so we were up there just having lunch.
So let's go through a little bit. Well, you want to get right into the thank yous?
I think you should break some of those up, but yeah, do them in like quarters.
Now, I do have, just in case I feel like having something by the end, I grabbed one of my all-time favorites, just kind of a celebratory dram, Glendronach 21.
Just in case you had to get one of your favorites to kind of like taunt you in or
well, the fundraiser last night, naturally, most of those you don't have the best choices in whiskeys.
Right. Yes.
Weller and Jameson they had, and that was like the top end stuff.
Right. So they had like tequila and vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I went up, I was like, I just want a Weller. They were like, and how much ice or Coke? I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
And they always look at you a little funny, like, really? That's it? Mm-hmm. That's all I want.
Yep.
Nothing else. How about a spritz of soda? Again, nothing if anybody wants some of that, but I was like, nope. I think they feel guilty because you're giving them money and they didn't have to do anything. There was no massive mixing or anything. But yeah, so needless to say, you went to the Special Reserve multiple times.
Yes.
He And I'm going to let you guys know he was bidding on stuff, and you could tell the wife was a little concerned. He was like, "Yeah, right here. I'm going to give it a go. Let me table. I want the table." And
yeah, well, they had an auction. You know, you got to help raise funds, and
yeah. The guy even tried to berate you into dropping an extra 50 on an item, and he was like, "Mm-mm." You had to give him the no shake. He was like, "Don't quit now." Yeah.
I bought a table for $400.
You did. You bought a table for $400. And then I went and sat on it, rubbed my bum all on it. And you were like, "Get off the table." Yeah, we had some hijinks.
Okay, so let's get into this a little bit, and then we can, I'm sure this is going to take a while anyway, but for those that provided or helped raise funds by providing items, Lee, Scotch on the Bayou, Andy Perslow, are known as Ardbaggy, Scott, My Bourbon Journey, Chad and Sarah at It's Bourbon Night.
That's right, the Jägermeisters.
Jason, Jason Mash and Drum, Amy and GCap, Iron Root.
Ooh, yeah, that was a neat one.
Actually, Iron Root Republic. I always hate it when I shorten it. I just say I know they don't mind, or but the actual name is Iron Root Republic. But,
right, but yeah, Iron Root's catchy.
Yeah. Of course, Roy, Aquavite, Daniel, Whiskey Throttle, and Captain 3D, Phil and Deepa. Big shout out to all those guys. They all helped raise funds by providing stuff to auction.
Right. Yeah, that was awesome.
At the end of the live stream, we were around $7,500 and cents. We had some other people that had donated, sent in PayPals, cents. That got us up to just shy of 8,000. We rounded it up and took that on ourselves.
Right.
And then, of course, the super and to break it down, everybody that tuned in, we brought in around $1,300 in super chats, a little over $6,500 in PayPal donations,
right,
and $70 in cash.
Yeah. Yep. It was awesome. Well, now you need to mention the $70 in cash.
Yeah, well, we were done with the live stream. I think we were, and Roy had went on after us, so we were hanging out with Roy off the airwaves, and the door opens up, and in comes my 16-year-old son.
Yeah, and he's never popped in on a show or anything.
Yep, and we were like, "What do you need?"
Yeah, what are you doing?
And he's like, "Here, I got some cash for you."
Right. Yep.
I'm like, what do you for what? What are you talking about? He goes, "Well, it's for your friend." Mom told me what you was doing, and it was $70. And I said, "No, you don't need to give that much money." He goes, "No, Dad, I got a lot of money."
Well, he said, "I got Christmas money still." Yeah, he said, "This is from my Christmas money, and I saved it, and this is what I want to give." So, and then you were a little choked up.
All right, let's go through. And hopefully I have everybody. Well, if I forget,
we'll miss somebody. We just know it.
If I forget to mention you, if you want to shoot us a message, we'll give you another shout out in a video or something. But hopefully I've got everybody that helped out. We'll start off with Ebhead. We had an anonymous donation that came in. Eric Waite, Bourbon Night, Linux Cat, Benjamin Gerald, Whiskey in the Six, a Bourbon Podcast, Joseph Maselli, Patrick Fulmer, My Bourbon Journey, Mark Royland, what? Oh, I thought you said something. Jason the Mash and Drum, Whiskey Crusaders, Jean de la Cuisine, Todd Cooper, It's Bourbon Night again, Carl Van Vollegem, Omar Fitzel, RJJ Duff, Jesse Voisin, Kenneth Canelti, Isaac Mittendorf, Dustin Silvestri, Doug Chrisope, Whiskey Jason, Eric Waite, Robert Primado, maybe? I can't read my own writing. Primo.
Mittendorf. Mittendorf is the name I like, and it means in the middle of the village.
That's right. You got a Patreon shout out.
And Nectar from Root, passion. Not nectar. It means passion. Sorry.
Starting on the next page, I got a few. Actually, I'll go through each page, and then we can talk about that page or whatever, and then we'll move on to the next one. William Slattery, Michael Kerr, Ardbaggy, Scott Monroe, Dave Light-Weiss, Nathan Huey.
Went all German.
Jeff Borker, Mose Chun, Tickety Boo, Wes Jolly, Zach Andrews, Christopher Malloy.
Claire the Third's on you.
Do what?
Claire the Third says $400 table. WTF?
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, keep going.
Rob DeSantis, Multi-Haggis. Actually, Multi-Haggis Muncher, I believe, is the name. I shortened it up.
Yeah, don't shorten that up. That's a work of art.
Hoyt Hemphill, Nathan Huey, Ebhead again, Kenneth Kennelty, Mark Brown, Ross Fudd, Michael Kaiser, William Van P. Can't read my handwriting on that one either.
Van P.
These were, man, I'll tell you what, when we started. Now, I thought if we raised $2,000 to $3,000, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, I thought our top end would be $2,500, and that was optimistic. I wasn't sure what to think, and I don't want to presume, and and of course we know Matt and but yeah, I thought okay, and blown away. You?
Yeah. We started, and the super chats were rolling in, the PayPal donations were rolling in, all of the auction items it was just outstanding.
Yeah. Well, I knew as soon as I saw some of those auction items, I was like, wow, yeah. Now these are neat. There were the folks that even brought those up. So it wasn't just, hey, pure donation. Those auction items were really neat and fun.
So moving on to page 3 for donations, Travis Faircloth, Robert Licorice, Mark Saliba, First Fill Whiskey, Jay Fretless, Kevin Mayato, Patrick Fulmer, the Cask Strength Crew, Keith Corbett, Wes Jolly, John Boyer, Ronald Higashiyama, Jan KOK, and I think that might have been Jean de la Cuisine again. I can't remember. He sent a message telling me who that was. Daydreaming, Dan Trout, Brian Brennicky, John Jaranowski, Mark Saliba again, Kevin Maado again, Linux Cat again, Russell Rowan, Todd Cooper again. That's page 3. I still got 3.5 more pages of thank yous to give.
Good. Have you poured a Dronic yet?
I have not.
That 21 is whispering. It's like, hello, Scott, I'm right here.
All right, I'll pour one.
There you go. You got to get her poured.
Little celebratory dram.
That's right. You got to get her poured there. Yep. So here was another nice thing from last night that got me a little verklempt. Was so Cousin Shane's up leading the band. That's their lead singer. I got a little shot of him here in a little bit I'll put up. But they were doing a country song. I can't remember what it was. Of course, Matt and his wife like to dance to country music, and they go out and they dance. So, yeah, that was – and they kept trying to get people to join them. But it was just them, center stage. So, if it wasn't like – I almost grabbed you to go out there, but I thought, no, it's too special of an event.
Oh, you didn't want to dance with me?
Right. Well, I did, but yeah, no, I mean, that was something where I was like, wow. Yeah. So.
All right. Page 4, Eric Waite, Matt Harris, Dave Lightvice again, Hoyt Hemphill again, John Picard, Metal Man 71. The donation came in for Sarah's Jaeger bomb from Michael Kerr. Which she did yesterday. Now, last Sunday, Sarah was under the weather. They didn't do the live, so she just did her shot yesterday.
Oh, it would have healed her.
I want to say it's about 58 minutes into their live stream yesterday, if anybody wants to go watch.
So she did it the tail end.
No. Oh, no, it wasn't that far in then, now that you say that.
Oh.
because I think they were live for about an hour and a half. It might have been like 18-minute mark, 20-minute mark. Maybe they put it in the comments or marked it where it was at. I'm not sure.
Got it.
Let's see. Michael Porter, Jay Chung, Chris McLaughlin, Vin, No Nonsense Whiskey, Carrie Glessner, The Mash and Drum, Zach Andrews, Prestige Liquids, Chuck Metge, Claire the Third.
Speaking of Claire the Third, he thinks I probably wore my my husband's shirt, and that's why I wanted to dance with you. Sorry, continue.
Santa Cruzin, Eric Waite, Jimmy Jazz, Zach Andrews again, Don Nishida, Eric Waite again, Mark Goins. Roll right into the next page. Andrew Dinger, Lee Rayner, Vegas Art, Stephen Colligan, Richie Z, Scott Pigsley, Dustin Silvestri again, Juan Quintanilla, Joseph Maselli, Amy, Daniel Price, Nicholas Burt, The Nemo, Karen Hughes, Brian Killavey, Zach Andrews again, The Mash and Drum again, Zach Andrews again, Joe Mezzatesta, Jeff Borker again, Santa Cruzin again, Lana Lou, Jay Fretless again.
Jeremy C says that Sarah did the Jaeger bomb at 11:19.
There you go.
So, yep. Hey. Oh yeah. Sorry, we got a little lag on the.
Hey, oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading back messages. I'm all the way up near the top, and then it kept popping in with stuff.
Yeah, these trying to track as I was writing, and I was trying to keep up the board behind us with the donation totals and stuff, and all these were coming in and tracking them. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jason Kotlinski, Lloyd Fink, Carson Bruno. I'm looking. I think that finished up the live stream. Nope. Harry Ryan Richardson came in at the end. He gave the $20 that boosted us up to 7,700. Is that right?
I think so. By the way, Karen is she's walking and listening as we're doing the show.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah, like a virtual podcast.
So let's see. We had when the live stream ended, we had a few donations that came in. Later was Carrie Wood, Craig Dollier, Jeff Jensen, Caleb Weintraub, Daniel Popley, John Barry, and Ernesto Cortez. Big shout out to everybody. That's the names that I have. Hopefully that is everybody. Hopefully I did not miss anybody. If we did, if you'd like a shout out, just send us a message or an email and we'll get your name included on a future video.
I'm sure we missed somebody. It was unintended. Sorry. When I had my messages off, I'm scrolling through the top ones still. So,
Glenn Dronick, 21.
There you go. There you go.
Good. So let's see. I'll do a screen share here real quick and give them a better picture.
There you go.
So last night again was the local fundraiser concert, Crossfire. Okay, so also
hello, Laddie. I see that. Go ahead.
Honore Adversus is a local. It's a nonprofit charity group that was set up by the Fraternal Order of Police, so they could take donations, give them to officers in need, and those disbursements are non-taxable to the people that they disperse them to. All of the money from last night's fundraiser, all of our money that we raised, we donated to the Honore Adversus, tagged for Matt Young, 100%. So he gets all that. All that will go to him tax-free. So we go through that, and then they're able to disperse it, and they don't pay any income taxes on it. So,
and they paid for the giant check as well. So, because they were like, hey, we're going to have you guys present at this deal, which we were going to put the money into the foundation for Matt, but they were like, no, let's have you present here. And we were like, oh, cool. And then they did the giant check and everything. So So again, none of the funds went toward even the check. They either paid for the check or maybe the company that did it might have done the check. I don't know, pro bono, but they handle all that.
I was just looking here. Hold on just a second.
Yep, I'm checking here. All right, we're looking good, looking good. So you're going to do a screen share? Is that what you're going to do?
Yep. Had a message come in from West Jolly, so I was looking at that real quick.
Oh, Colorado Springs. They had weather even colder than us, at least up in Evergreen, where I used to live. That's actually about 2 hours away. But
all right, screen share is in. I had this ready. So here's us at the concert last night. We presented Matt Young with the check, $8,000.
Mm-hmm. Again, Scott there looks like Schwarzenegger.
I think there's a little camera distortion going on there, but
I don't know. Either way, you look stunning. I'm just going to say you've got that. You need to wear that shirt at all times.
But yeah, that's Matt with us there. I think that's the first time he's really been out for a while. He was hoping he was going to be able to make it the whole night.
Right. He's lost a lot of weight from since the last time I've seen him. So that kind of told you a lot. So, but yep. He was doing good. Like I said, when he was dancing, I was like, phenomenal.
Trying to see. I think there's cousin Shane singing.
Yeah.
Dark in there is not the best picture.
That's right. West Jolly said 7 to 8 inches of snow yesterday and Saturday. Wow. Snow day for schools. That's cool. Yay. Yeah. There's the dance. Good job.
Not good pictures, but
that's awesome.
From a phone. Yeah.
You can see cousin Penny up there on guitar too.
Shakes Pennington.
Yep. Sorry. Shakes. I just made him an honorary cousin.
But big thank you to everybody that helped make that possible. Matt also has watched the fundraiser.
Yeah.
Thanked us really profusely last night. He was taken aback. He was really wowed by the showing.
Let's see. Mangler Dome. Cheers from Sweden. Well, cheers. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, love the shirt with fighter on the back. Yeah, he came out. Mash and Drum said that. He came out and said, hey, he's a very faithful, religious man. And he said, the prognosis is grim, but I haven't given up. And whatever happens, happens. His point was this isn't even though the prognosis isn't good, he didn't want it to be like a doom and gloom night. So he said, enjoy, dance, which was, again, great message.
Well, Laddie Rombout says he's got to put his kids to bed. Sorry he missed yesterday's fundraiser. Yesterday's wasn't online. The actual fundraiser was from a couple weeks ago that we did.
Right.
So,
yeah, we just went to the live one where they had auctions and a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah,
more locally. I gotta say there was another individual also that presented a check. He's a lieutenant. He was actually in my academy class, but on the deputy side. He's a lieutenant for the sheriff's department, Jason Gill, and he owns a company on the side as well. And he was donated just shy of 18,000, right?
Yeah, well, he has the fencing company.
Mm-hmm.
And we've kind of talked about that. One of the things on Matt's to-do list had been to fix his privacy fence or put a new one up.
Right.
Jason Gill, who owns a fencing company, kind of took it on his own. He went out and what he started doing was kind of looking for discounts and stuff to get, or maybe even get materials at cost to rebuild the fence, and ends up getting all of the materials donated and raises $17,000 on his own as well.
Yep. So, and then it's been so cold here. We've had frigid weather because there's a whole band of brothers and sisters that are going to go out and build this fence, volunteer style, and just get it done. So that way that fence it's going to be a good fence that'll last, 20 some years. So, but yeah, it's been so cold they kept putting it off. But yeah, so in the meantime, everywhere he went, not only did they donate materials, a lot of them threw in money for the family, which was amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's see. Jay Chung. Sorry, Jay hit the wrong. That was for West Jolly. He said he hit the wrong button. He meant to give a fat thumb up. What did he give? Oh, he gave like a little sideways emoji, I think. Pick of Afghan and IG. Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on here? We got the cheers from Sweden. Cheers, Dummies from Mike Snook. Ebhead, love the Swedes. So George Kaplan, very touching. Riley Hagan says minus 20 air temp 2 nights ago. Wow. Where was that?
Fargo, North Dakota. Has it right there.
Oh, I didn't read the hashtag. Sorry, Fargo. Goodness,
hashtag and typos get to you.
Oh, I still read them as pound signs. I'm still very confused by the pound B2 movement. Just seems wrong. I'm serious. I'm stuck on it being a pound sign, not the hashtag. I'm not a Twitter person. What? I'm serious. The first time I saw it, I'm like, what the heck? What is that?
My nephew is just across the river from Fargo, living in Minnesota, Moorhead.
Michael Lee, I am in a different room. This is more my office. Usually when I remote in, I come in from here a little bit. I've got a few sample bottles behind. Oh, he's saying I moved stuff. Yeah, I cleaned that shelf up. I didn't like all the bottles back there, and I was dusting, so I kind of cleaned it up.
You didn't like all the bottles back there?
I had some bottles that weren't even getting sipped on. Like this bad boy here. I love this can, so I'm going to keep this can. But look, well, you can't see. It's super, super dusty. It just been sitting there forever.
You got a screw or something on it?
Yeah. I've got a chair that I need to screw that's going to fit. Sorry, I put that in there so I would test it out. I'm going to test it. But that's all I got left of that little smokehead. This was a gift from a buddy of mine that lives in Regina, Saskatchewan. He stopped by and he brought that by.
Yeah, God forbid, as Jason Mash and Drum points out, you don't like the bottles behind you when I've got all these back here.
That comes from a board game thing, I'll tell you. That's not what you were hoping for when I said that. But, yeah, all the board game shows will do a wall of games behind them. And so that's why I like to mix it up. Sometimes I'll do my quick hitters with board games behind, and I do a lot of my board game videos at our normal whiskey spot. Just makes us stand out. But you do whatever you want, Scott.
Yeah, I'll take him down. I'm going to put up my knitting stuff back there.
Knitting stuff.
Get some yarn and some cross threading needles. I'm going to town.
Knitting. It doesn't hit.
Oh, hey, special shout out to Vaughn. I think it's Finson. He says Regina is the city that rhymes with fun.
Right.
Yeah. Vaughn just placed an order for one of our dropper sets this morning. Ooh. So I got that packaged up, ready to take to the post office.
Very cool.
Yep. Shout out from Mose Chun. They're just tuning in too. Cheers. And Gregory. Hi guys, Dinah, but wanted to say hi and congrats for the $8,000 check to the Young family. That's awesome.
Mark Brown says, # Bart can learn to internet. See? Let's see. What else is in there? Yep. He says that, and Scott has 600 bottles behind him. That's right. And you keep adding lighting stuff. Keeps getting fancier and fancier.
Wes Jolly says that George Kaplan can help me with the yarn and the knitting.
Oh, Bert Basket. Well, I'm actually really interested in knitting. I have a ton of yarn and needles. I'm just really bad at it. Well, there you go. Someday Scott's going to have his own show, and what's going to happen is it's going to rock it. It's going to be called Knitting Shicer. And it's going to just be phenomenal. You're going to blow up.
Let's talk World of Whiskey for a minute, I guess. What's new? I got
Pound sign. What's new? Whiskey World.
The new Stranger and Stranger from Compass Box. I just put up a quick review.
You did. I knew you needed to get that into the queue. I didn't watch it all, but obviously somewhere in there you talk about that you'll do a full review with me later.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and we talked about that. It's kind of like we buy bottles, and sometimes I think it'd be best just to get even a little quick blurb up about them and get it out there. And because sometimes something sits on our shelf for a month or two before we even, or longer before we even get around to reviewing it. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw it, and I was like, what? And I put a little note in there. You didn't even let me try to rip the label off. What are you doing?
Yeah, I saw that from the Bonding with Board Games comment.
Yes. I'd been logged in doing all my responses to Bonding with Board Games, so then I switched over and was commenting on some of our videos here.
This is very good. I'm not disappointed in this at all, and especially the longer it sat in my glass, the better it got.
Longer it sat in what?
In my glass.
Ooh, I misheard that.
Well, the fact is, I had three. I mean, not big drams, but 3 pours of it that night. So,
wow, 3 big drams of it in your glass. Let's see. We got another pound sign modern hieroglyphs. Video review will be released on Wednesday. I think Whiskey Jason's talking about something there I missed. Knitting and sipping. Yeah, that's a good one, Kilted Moose. But yeah, his is going to be knit and shh. And then like a @ sign. And then it.
I did do some reshelving a little bit. I moved all my Compass boxes down here where they're more in view. And I had a little bit more room because that shelf is about a foot longer, so I could spread them out a little bit. But problem is, when I'm sitting here like this, you still can't.
Yeah, you block it. Yeah. I almost think it should go up to that top shelf where I see you got a Bunnahoven.
Well, that's where they were at.
I think that's a better shelf. I think that's a mistake of what you did, in my opinion.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
You don't even have any bottles up behind you, but you're going to tell me what's a mistake on my shelf.
Definitely. Yeah, you've overstated.
I think you got some more room back there for board games or something to put up.
I do. Now, your right shoulder, where you have the Highland Park, that's where you should have put them. Just saying.
I could move stuff around there. I know that's I was looking at that too. So
yeah, that's your highlight there. Of course, those Lagavulin look beautiful. I love that.
Well, for me though, when I'm sitting down here and if I'm just down here relaxing or having a dram or two, everything right here is kind of more displayed for me.
I know. I've walked in there before, and it's like you're in bottle porn heaven, is what you do. You just stare at it, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're in a trance. You're in a trance. You're like, I'm looking at Stranger Things or Stranger.
We had some good feedback on the Mortlocks.
Yes,
we just did that. Saturday was our review, the 12, the 16, and the 20. And I forget who it was. Somebody commented they watched the review. And then that day they were out and about and they saw the 12 year. So they picked it up and thought it was phenomenal. They got home and was trying it and thought we were spot on with the review.
Well, we had a couple other people that were buying, what were they buying? They were buying something online, and then they saw the Mortlock review and had to empty their cart and put the Mortlock 16 in. I saw that because they were buying something else we'd recommended. They were
no, I think someone had the 12 and the 16, but then they dropped the 16 and added the Stranger and Stranger.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
Or at least one person.
He does have Flaming Heart. He's got a couple versions of Flaming Heart. It is good. I will say mine is the double single, though. The double single really, really hit me in a nice spot. I went and got my own. So the double single was so unique that's kind of what I look for now, to be quite honest. So I kind of know what I like with my peat. And when something else hits me unique and transitional is what I lean toward now.
James Reed, I haven't seen him tune in before, but just commented, thanks, you two STDs. Pretty new to your channel, seen about a dozen vids.
There you go.
I'm into bourbon, but new to Scotch and trying to find my way. Starting light. Thanks for the insights.
There you go. Perfect. When you get a chance, I don't know where you're at with your peated stuff, But what turned me into a peat head was the Compass Box Peat Monster. And I'm so far in now that the Peat Monster seems like a real kind of light Isla entry, but it is, you can't miss the Isla peat smoke, but it is a great first touch with enough sweetness in there that that it kind of tells you what peat's about. And that's where I shed a whole lot of preconceptions, to the point that Scott literally slapped me upside the back of the head and said, quit judging it on its appearance and sip it. I was looking at the bottle and the liquid's so clear, and then the label, it's got a little monster on it. I'm like, what is this, geared towards seniors in college that just turned 21? And he's like, drink it. Quit talking crap. And then I was like, oh my God. He goes, see? And then I turned into a peat head. I was like, I got to find more of this. And I was buying everything peat I could get, going, yes, I need more. Oh, even more. Sorry.
The Mangler Dome. The Mangler Dome is tuning in.
Yeah.
My first was the Bowmore 15 Darkest.
The Mangler Dome.
I need to try that one again. That one sat a little sour on my palate.
I feel like Mangler Dome is right down from Thunderdome.
I know, the Mangler Dome.
It's like the next town over.
Riley Hagan is asking, what about the Bell Mead cask strength? He has the bottle. Is it any good? We haven't had the cask strength.
I like the regular Bell Mead though.
We had a single barrel. I still have some of it left, but it was a single barrel release for Liquor Barn. That's what it was.
God, how do you do that? How do you do that at all? There's like, we've had probably 1,000 bottles by now. I know we're only just shy of 800 shows, but at least 1,000 bottles. And I'm like, yeah, we've had the Bell Mead. And you're like, it was a single barrel and we did like it. I think I scored it at 91. I'm like, how in the hell? I can't remember.
Yeah, here it is. It's actually a 9-year. From there, it is a stamp. If you can see it at the front there, Liquor Barn. Maybe I'm too close.
No, you're good. Well, now it's in.
But yeah, this one was very tasty.
Yeah, that's the one I remembered. I just remembered Bell Mead. That's superpowers. Whiskey. Your whiskey recall is unbelievable.
Once in a while.
Oh, please. Mine's like, no. I'm on the flip side. Ooh, we got to try Bell Mead. And you're like, August of 2016, we had the single barrel. I'm like, what? And you're like, yep.
Michael Lee is watching, but he comments, he says, I need to get new shelves or cabinets. Where did you get yours, Scott?
Ooh, you hit a sweet spot. He built those. Those were birthed out of his brain.
I actually, and I've got 2 videos up. The first video I went through and I showed how I built these. I did some they filled up rather quickly. I needed to add on. So I did a second edition here, and there's how to build your own whiskey shelves part 2, which shows I went with different, kind of altered the distances. Like these are in 18-inch shelves here. This is a 12-inch, which I didn't do over on this side. But you can watch that. And what I was doing, because I had told the wife one week, and I was like, I need to get some whiskey cabinets or whiskey shelves. There's an IKEA a couple 100 miles away up in Kansas City. And I was like, we ought to run up to Kansas City to IKEA so I could get something. And so I got to looking online. I thought, by the time I got this wall of shelves, it was going to be $500 to $600, $800 or something. And we were going to have to go to Kansas City.
Yeah, easy.
So I had some ideas in my head, and I'd seen some whiskey or just shelving like this using black pipes. So I just got to looking online and sourced some, between Lowe's. Actually, I ended up buying most stuff from eBay and Amazon because you can get it probably half price of what you can.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, Home Depot and Lowe's. Yeah, definitely save some money going eBay. So. But
yeah, he's got me into a couple areas when I'm almost running out of room. I got to move some toys around on our bar set, and then I'm going to have probably 2 other little areas where I'm going to work in some of his piping. So I like to call it the Bruno piping.
But I think this side, and This one's 5 feet long to the ceiling. Was I think I spent just under $200 on the wood. I used 2x10s over here, but then I went with 2x12s over here, which worked. I didn't know if they would fit on this side, but everything was just under $200 for that 5 foot long. This one's about 3 foot long, a little bit cheaper, not much. I went with 2x12s, so you can come out quite a bit cheaper, and they're pretty darn solid.
Right. Yeah. You went right into your studs, so it can handle. You could probably sleep on those.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And using the 2x10s or the 2x12s, you're not getting any. You could put as much weight as you wanted on there, and it's not bending, not warping, or doing anything. So right. I'm very happy with them.
Right, because then you stained them like a dark chestnut, right?
I think it's actually espresso from Minwax, the espresso color. Yeah, it's a dark brown, almost black.
Yep.
Color.
See, and I'll do mine when I do them more like the wood, the redder wood. And then you did a heavy lacquer, right?
Yeah. The
lacquer.
Gloss, high gloss. I used high gloss
lacquer.
Clear coat, whatever it's called. Yeah, something.
Lacquer was the word you were looking for there. Waiting for you to say shut up. Pound sign lacquer, shut up.
Everybody's getting to see what I work with every day.
That's it. Yeah. See, he was like, shut up. I like how you staged the one. That's the one Lagavulin with the green felt bag too.
Yeah.
It's like Santa's little bag there.
Yep. That's a green bag from Fagil. So most people who are watching would know that's one of the Fagil offerings.
Most people watching. It's not a lacquer.
Polyurethane. There you go.
See, whiskey lacquer.
That's why I was ignoring him.
I know, but I like
that wasn't quite the word I was looking for.
I would have used a lacquer. That's all I'm saying. Polyurethane's so new and retro.
Hey, Chris Banks Wildlife is tuning in. We've given him a couple of shout outs. Another one's coming up if it hasn't aired yet, but
you didn't say nothing on my new and retro comment. I was supposed to get your
I wasn't even paying attention. I was reading comments. Sorry.
Dang it. I was supposed to make you mad, and you were supposed to go, what? You can't.
He says he just had a Lagavulin 16, not impressed. A few years since, basically since he's had one, has anybody else found this? No, Lagavulin 16s we've had have all been outstanding, and we haven't heard any bad comments coming out on them at all.
The Freud 12 has been kind of more of a hit or miss, I will say. It's been a little bit subdued.
Which one?
The Freud 12.
They don't make a 12-year.
Sorry, I meant 10. The Freud 10. Is that a new shirt? No, this is not a new shirt. I've had this one around. This is the Retina Burner. We have been talking our Ardbeg 10, the Freud 10, and the Lagavulin 16 have been doing so well. We had a fan suggest we do cast strength versions, and that would be the Lagavulin 12 Limited, and then the Lefroy 10 cast strength, and then the Ardbeg, and then we were back and forth. Probably the Corey Vrecken, I think, that's 50%, right?
It's higher than that, but it's also the Oogie Doll is sherry.
Yeah.
So it would give off a little bit. If you went with the Corey Vrecken, Lefroy 10 cask strength, and the Lagavulin 12, they're all bourbon cask only.
Perfect. So we're talking about doing that. And as good as that video is doing, I think that's a good idea to come back and do them cast strong. I like to say cast strong. Pound sign. See, Burt Basket up here. We've got James Brower, pound sign polyurethane. Basket says pound sign ha ha ha. And then we got pound sign good times. Nothing.
I was thinking about my Mortlock 16 I just poured, which is pretty darn good.
Is the 8-year better than the 16? No, I would say the 16 is actually better. The 8-year is nice because the peat's more of a punch. And then if you want to go with the Lagavulin, I'm telling you that the Lagavulin 12 2017 bottle was unbelievable. I think it was the 17 that was unbelievable.
You know, we've had a lot of comments though. I think there are a lot of people out there that do prefer the 8-year to the 16.
I like my peach young, and it does give you that peat forward slap around.
Yeah.
But the 16, it's just really, really well done. You know, you called them perfect in that show. The Laphroaig was so subdued. I thought it was the Lagavulin 16 just because of the extra time in the cask. A lot of times that Isla, that peat will soften up, and I blew it.
I'm following the Glendronach 21 with the new Mortlock 16, and it's actually, I mean, it's not far behind it. It's not as sherried,
right?
Not as sweet, and not as rich, but it's not a bad dram on its own, even coming in right after that Parliament.
Well, there you go. Jeremy C is one of those that prefers the 8 over the 16.
Food Quig's got to go. Thanks for tuning in. Gregory had asked, he's coming to the States from France and wants to know about the rules for alcohol as far as what he can bring back. As far as leaving the States with bottles, I don't think there's going to be anything. It's going to be when you get back to France and going through your customs. And I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, it would be whatever France has on it, I think. So
Mangler Dome says he can't get into the Lagavulin 16. There's something in it that he doesn't like. Loves the Laphroaig lore and the Ardbeg Anoa. Really, the Laphroaig lore is sherry casked.
Mm-hmm.
It might be actually a little bit. That'd be an interesting side by side. I think sitting here though, I think the lore is probably a little bit richer, a little bit darker, a little bit.
Yeah.
Even compared to the Lagavulin 16.
Now, Ardbeg mentions the pound Lecheg. We do have a Lecheg, but I can't remember which one.
10.
Okay, just a Lecheg 10.
Yeah. That's mine, even. Is it still over there? Do I have it back over here?
I'll have to sample it if it's over here.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'll have to pour me a triple.
That's mine. It's been over there. I don't know if we've ever got around to reviewing. I think we've used it on a live. Oh, no, it's up top up there.
Yeah, I thought we did a review on it. Oh, gross.
Well, Mose is asking, would the Tomatin 14 be comparable to the Mortlock 16?
No, not for me it wouldn't. The 14's a port casking.
Yeah.
So, and the Mortlock 16 is the sherry casking, but I got, and this is just me, I got that sour twinge note that I don't like in the sherries. They're not in all of them, but when they show up, I do not like the touch of sour. Many people do. Scott does. That's just,
I think blind, I would lean towards the Mortlock 16 on that one. But
yeah,
who knows when you go blind?
True. Let's see. Hemphill's saying the import duty isn't too bad as long as you're not bringing in cases. Okay. So we are we're going to be headed over to Ireland. We don't have a firm date yet, but soon we'll be over at Waterford. So we'll be finding out what we can bring back, because we're going to stop over in Glasgow and hang out with Roy a little bit too.
Jeremy C says, did you see that Lagavulin has submitted a Nick Offerman edition Lagavulin 11 year, 46% ABV to the TTB for approval? I have not seen that. I saw somebody else mentioning the Nick Offerman bottling up in the comments a little bit ago. So, I mean, it's going to be worth picking up, I'm sure.
Quattro Pedro Jimenez. Based on your guys' distillery bottle, sadly, no plans on going to Scotland for a while.
You know, when we're up there with Roy in Scotland, we might have to go to Tomatin.
Oh, that would be nice. I think that's a bit of a trip, though, from Glasgow, if I remember the map. It'd still be worth the trip, though, if we can get up there.
Ebhead, I think that's what Bart picks up on, that he doesn't care for when some of that sulfur comes through on the sherry finish. I've gotten to be one that I don't mind it, almost like it a little bit.
Sure. I mean, I love the ashtray.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some where I'm like, old bar ashtray, and people are like, ugh, how can you drink that? And I'm like, I know. So
Matt Rossetti says he was going to order another Glendronach 21 from the Whiskey Exchange, but noticed they do not ship to the U.S. anymore. Nope, them and the other big one quit last year shipping to the States because of a lot of the regulations. There's a lot of smaller ones that do still ship to the States. I've ordered from Abbey Whiskey, the Whiskey Barrel, the Green Welly Stop. Nichols and Perks. I think they believe they all still will ship to the United States.
Michael Lee's got a question, and we've been out of the service for so long, I don't know if we can answer it, but we've mentioned our prior service. He's a former NCO. Have we heard about any stuff coming into the Class C stores?
Class 6?
Sorry, Class 6 stores, because that's tax-free when it comes in on base. You know, I've not heard of any particular like limited bottles. I know they get the major stuff. I remember popping in there back in the day. So, I mean, if you were going to be picking up like Jack Daniels, you could get it really inexpensively. So they had more of the major offerings. But I haven't been to, I was over in Korea and went to a huge Class 6 store. I mean, it was huge. There was tons of stuff in there. But that was me pre-whiskey. That was me at 20. So.
Wes Jolly sent over a picture of the Nick Offerman labeling from the TTB.
Distinguished fella.
And Kilted Moose, Scott, over there in Glasgow, he says he's going to have to meet up with us and share a few drams while we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
100%. We'll have to do like a little miniature gathering over there. Should be fun. Roy said he'll be our chauffeur, which is good because you don't want to see me driving on the wrong side of the street on the wrong side of the car. Scott knows I'd mess that up.
In one of those little rentals that we'd probably have over there.
Boom, knees all up around the steering wheel.
All 6'6" of you, hanging out the window.
Yeah, head out the window with goggles on.
Cruising down those little 1.5 lane roads, winding.
Expecting people to get out of my way.
Sheep running.
Oh, yeah, it'd be horrible. Yeah. Roy'd kick me out of there quick. Get out of there. You can't drive here. Let's see. I think that's about it, man. When are you going? You guys going to Scotland? It should be in May, like mid May. We don't have the specific date yet. Oh, there you go. Karen's up for drinks too. Live in Glasgow. You bet.
Live in Glasgow, or is she saying she lives in Glasgow?
Well, it would be live in Glasgow or live. Yeah, live in Glasgow. I guess you're right. I just thought she meant she'd be hanging out with us live, kind of thing. Well, we might do a show. We might do a show. There's another pound sign. Ha 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 ha.
Jack H says, "Don't stop to look at the sheep."
Yeah. Yeah, art tasting. No room for meeting cars, sheep, cows, birds in the road. That's what Abad says. So, yes, Karen lives there. Yeah, I live here. So there you go. Or as I say, yeah, I live here.
Hoyt Hemphill says he'll just miss us. He's going in June. And then was it? Yeah, Scotch on the Bayou. Lee is tuning in. She's going in September. So we will, if we are there, we will just miss Fagil.
Right
at the end of May. Roy, outside of missing the distillery only bottles, though, Roy says the time that we are there will actually be better, just because it won't be as busy. There won't be as many people there. It'd be a lot better for a tour.
Right. Well, he had a good point too. Rather than try to jam in, 10 distillery tours a day, he had the idea of doing more selective choosing and spending some time and enjoying it. And as Scott keeps telling me, we'll be back. He keeps saying it's like Terminator with that shirt on again. We'll be back. And I'm like, I know. Because I'm wanting to, we need to extend the trip 3.5 weeks and live with Roy and eat out of his kitchen. He's like, no. We'll sleep on the floor. It'll be fine. We'll be back. Oh, let's see.
Bert Basket. Planning to do the Bourbon Trail in the next couple of months. We lived in Louisville for 11 years and drank wine. Now we live in Charlotte and are drinking whiskey. He's looking forward to revisiting.
That's about how my life is. I grew up in the mountains and I hated it. I wanted to be in a city. And now that I'm in a city, I long to be in the mountains. So Matt says, Scott Bart, when you go to Ireland, are you going to the, Bunratty Distillery? We don't think so. So Waterford's flying us out, and we're spending good quality time there, and we're going to spend some time with some of the farmers that provide the grain. So I don't think we're going to do too much else in Ireland, but when we fly or catch a ferry over to Scotland, we'll definitely see some different distilleries in Scotland, I think. Is that kind of what you're thinking too, Scott?
Yeah, originally I thought we would probably stay in Ireland a little bit longer and do that stuff, but then that's a good point that Waterford is paying our way out there. We kind of hate to, say, hey, thanks for flying us out here. We're also going to go visit a bunch of your competitors.
Yeah, now we're right next door.
Yeah.
So
we do have Omar. I don't know if Omar is tuning in, though. He's contacted us. He's close to Waterford. He might be in the Dublin area, I forget, but he wants to meet up with us and share some dram. So we'll see. Hopefully I think that'll still happen.
Yes.
Daniel Vermas has a new T-shirt idea for us. Says Bart be back.
Pound sign.
Mark Brown says if we stay with Roy, he'll be able to do more recycled reviews sooner.
Yes, and John, the whole point being out there is, we're going to be able to sample some things that Waterford's already said they could legally bottle. I believe right around when they're there, they'll be hitting the 3-year mark.
Actually, December they hit the 3-year mark.
Right. But they're not planning to bottle anything probably until they're at least at around roughly 5 years. But again, their rule is when it's ready to bottle, they'll bottle. So they're not really putting a timetable on it. But they definitely said we'll be sampling some things from casks, which hello. So
well, as far as new make spirit, I bet we'll get to try probably several because Waterford, Mark Rainier, who used to be the master distiller at Brooklady, is the master distiller now at Waterford. New distillery. They haven't put anything out yet. Mark is big, and when he was at Brooklady on terroir,
right.
In other words, the grain that you get from this farm is independently, distilled into whiskey. And then you can compare it to the grain or the barleys from this farm that's in a different land in a different area, just so you can see the differences of what that terroir does.
Right. They've got about 72 different farmers. They're keeping all of the grains separate from each farmer and distilling them separately and getting the taste and the terroir. And so they can do a lot of cool things there. So, and that's what we're looking forward to because there's a whole lot of attention to detail just from what I've read going on at Waterford. And, we'd specifically asked, when we're there, we'd like to spend a little bit of time with one or two of the farmers as well and kind of see what they're doing on their end and how they're doing it. So that should be fun. And they said when we're there in May, it'll be green, because we almost ended up going there a little earlier, but they said spring would not have sprung at that point in time. So, but so that should be neat. We're going to have 3 to 4 days there. We're going to be staying on site, and we were told we got really full reign. We can go wherever. They will assist us in getting where we need to go, but zero restrictions. There'll be a few times I think we'll just have the camera on and we'll just do a walkabout and just kind of wander even. So that was nice. I mean, just think of that. So we're there for multiple days so we can do some of the farmer stuff, but they were like, yeah. I mean, you'll be able to go wherever you want to go. So.
Well, I think that says a lot for Mark Rainier and the money backers there as well. That they're not rushing. Yeah, starting in December, they could have been bottling whiskey and putting it out for sale to get some revenue coming back in.
Right.
Their thoughts are the whiskey's not ready at 3 years. It takes 5 to 6. We're going to wait, and we won't put out whiskey till it's ready.
Right. Mark will be there, so we're going to get some, or at least at this point, the plan is that he'll be there. Can't guarantee that 100%.
Right.
But the hope is we'll be able to sit down with him as well and hear his thoughts directly. So, that'll be a great experience for us, and it'll be nice to see what they got going on. So, well, circling back to Matt. So, you stayed there a little bit longer. I know cousin Shane was up there singing for quite some time, and that was impressive. And anything else after I left?
No, not really. They continued. They'd sing a few songs and then auction some items off. It was still going really well. So,
all right. Daniel says, any plans doing an episode with Roy? Yes. Roy did not want to be at Waterford with us. He was invited as well. And they talked about, should we try to get you guys there at the same time? And Roy's point was, you know what? We both have distinctly different shows. And he thought it'd be better if we were there at different times so we could give them our individual full focus. He also felt like then when we pop back over to Glasgow, that he would then be able to spend time with us. And we'll do some live stuff. Probably
a lot.
A lot. Yeah, I think you'll get a lot, or you'll get a good feeling for what we're doing over there. So yeah, we'll be popping in on some places, and it'll be, hopefully we can, the way we run, we plan on taking you guys along with us throughout all the stages, including Waterford. We'll do live stuff depending on connections. Of course, internet connection is the key, and we'll have to see how some of that is out at Waterford. So, because we hope to do some live stream stuff, but again, that'll depend on connection. Otherwise, we'll have it recorded and we'll get it out when we get to a good spot where we can upload. That is Blender there. He's enjoying a butt rub.
Yeah. Like, don't pet my head, pet my butt.
Yeah. Let me show the butt on camera. Blender is the brother to my chupacabra.
Just look up here. Look up here. Hey, you too. Look up here. Look. What's that? Famer7, what's the most expensive whiskey you guys have drank? An NAS or age statement? Was it good?
Well, when we were in OKC, that's probably the most expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely. We haven't had, that was the 37-year, I think, was it 37-year Port Ellen?
Oh, boy.
33-year Port Ellen?
Yeah. I mean, it was really good.
About a $4,000 bottle. I would like to be able to, sit down and spend some time with that and dissect it.
It was nice, though, because, we were guided through. We were given a little piece of chocolate to even try with it and see how the mixture of the of a little Hershey's little miniature piece of chocolate went with it, which married very nicely.
It was very, yeah.
And I would have never done that because, and I didn't know the cost of the bottle. I knew it was expensive. And Scott had noticed it and said, because we were told, hey, anything in here you want to try? And Scott said, well, only if it's open. And he said, no, open it. And I didn't know. I knew it was I knew of just a rookie amount of what we were drinking, and that I knew it was a closed distillery. But yeah, when we got out of there, I was like, oh. So
yeah, so I just pulled up our photos. The 16th release of the Port Ellen. It was 37 years old, 55.2% ABV, which is pretty good ABV at 37 years.
Yes, and it did not taste. It wasn't oaked at all. I mean, it was smooth and sweet and flavorful.
Still smoky, still peaty.
Yes, it was really, really good. Because usually I'm a cheap date. Anything that's really old, if I get, I'm not a big oak forward person. So, but this was unbelievable for being in a cask that long. So, yeah, that was pleasant. That's probably my favorite older bottle.
And now, if you bought that bottle, is it $4,000 good?
No, not for me, but I don't have.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you got the money,
sure,
and you're used to buying those, sure,
yeah,
by all means.
Oh, it was, yeah. If you could, I mean, because it's that experience that you can never get. Once they're gone, I mean, there's not that many out there. So, yeah, I mean, I was thrilled to have it because at first when I saw it, you picked it and it's being poured, and I thought, oh God, this is going to be super oaky, and I just know that that's not the way I lean. And then I sipped it, and I was like, oh God, Scott, put the bottle under your shirt. Because this is really, really good. Really good. And then
Jay Chung says Hershey's with Port Ellen.
Yes.
When you are in a whiskey vault that's insured for $6 million, and the guy who owns it pours you a Port Ellen and gives you a chunk of Hershey's milk chocolate.
We had a full, well, not a sip. We probably had a half ounce sippage, and then he's like, pour some more. And Scott and I are like, sure. And he's like, open the drawer to your left. And in there were a bunch of the little Halloween Hershey's Kisses. He's like, hand those out to everybody. We weren't the only ones there. And then he's like, open that up, put that in your mouth, let it start to melt, and then take a sip.
Yeah.
And of course, yeah, we're going to do it. And he goes, this was a trick taught to me. I think he even told us who taught him about that. And he said, you're going to get something maybe a little different. And sure enough, they blended extremely well. You got the creamy milk chocolate with these rich, smoky, it kind of brought out more of that smokiness. It was really, really good. And that's what I said when we left. I told him right there, I told everybody, I would have never done that. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, it was something.
I think we better wrap it up. We're a little over an hour now. So.
Yes. Feels like a mismatch is what Jay Chung said, like it should have been some insane ancient hand harvested, like I like to call it cocoa based chocolate. Right, you'd think something semi-sweet or even dark, but that milk chocolate with the sweetness and the sugar in there was just a really, it gave you a beautiful mouthfeel too, real creamy. So yep. All right. Yeah, now every time I have one of those little Hershey's, it takes me back to the Port Ellen. I'm like, oh, I love that. That was so nice. So it's like locked in a memory. Hey, there we go. Bert says, £. Great show, guys. Scotch it. You Scotch gods.
Cilantro. Dummies.
All right. We will wind it.